Hello, my name is Jim Mullaney from SciTech Process Solutions. Today is Thursday, November 29th, 2018. Today I'm doing a two-part video source inspection of a 870S fully remanufactured spin rinse dryer with the upgraded SciTech Slick Device S1 controllers. For the privacy of our customers, we don't give their names out on our videos. However, this tool is going over to Europe, and it's our customer's number 15687. What I want to do first on the video is review the quality of our remanufacturing, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the skins back on the tool, and we'll do a second part video which will just be the tool running, showing how smooth it is and how well it runs. So first, to talk about the configuration, this system again has the state-of-the-art Slick Device S1 upgrade controllers. The customer also has the light indicators. This customer's light indicators are a little bit different. For alarm, they have an audible alarm versus just the red alarm. That's specific to their process. The options they have, and I'll look right here. Well, since the skins are off, I can show you here. We have the anti-static module, which is on there. I can see the resistivity probes are on there. And this customer, we don't have to go down below. We also have a leak detector in the bottom that's tied into the EMO circuit of the tool. What I want to show you really on here is the quality of our remanufacturing and how we do our work at SciTech. As you can see, the system basically looks brand new. You wouldn't know it's not brand new if you didn't, if I wasn't on the video. But what we do, which is very important to customers, is we document all of the parts on the tool. So if the customer needs spare parts in the future, it makes it very easy. One of the problems or issues with older, richer dryers is they weren't documented, so there was no part numbers or anything. So you had to go and figure out each part number by looking at drawings or pictures on the web, or try to through manuals. So you can see, we have our anti-static module part number here. We have our upgraded SMC valves. The old Humphrey valves were discontinued, so we have upgraded brand new SMC valves on the system. We have the manifold number and the valve number there. We have the model number of the ACR valve, which is the incoming N2. We also have the incoming pressure sensor. It's a little bit harder to see, but we have a nice large label on our brushless motor that's rebuilt. I'll kind of go around the other side. You don't have to follow me quite as much, but I'll just tell you. Over here, the other ACR valve has a label on it. We have our N2 filter that's labeled and the data's changed out. We have our Slick Device model numbers. The Slick Devices are CE marked, and so is this tool. The CE marking is on the controller, and when we put on our skins, those CE marking will be also on the spin rinse dryer. This is a 220 system. We obviously in the United States can run different voltages. We have 110 on the wall, but we have transformers for 220. This customer actually, we believe, is very satisfied with our quality. This is the fourth machine we're installing in their facility this year. They are a very good customer for us now, and I think they've appreciated the quality control we do, the quick startups, and the manufacturing capability of SciTech and our spare parts support. One of the options, which is very nice in our Slick Device controller, which I won't go into detail now because we have many videos on YouTube channel, we have our N2 saver, which allows the customer, if they want, they don't have to do it. In fact, this customer doesn't do it, but built into our software is the N2 saver. But they don't have to use it, and you just don't turn it on. So what I want to talk about is, just since the second part of the video is only going to be on the tool running, I want to quickly review our remanufacturing process. So at SciTech, we don't care what size tool you buy from us. We break all tools down to the base level, the base frame, basically right to like a metal frame like that, and we reconfigure them up to whatever wafer size. In this case, it's a 6-inch wafers, but we can do 2-inch wafers on a smaller tool. We can do larger wafers up to 300 millimeter on the much larger tools. So what happens is whenever the jobs go to our manufacturing floor, there's a breakdown of the tool configuration. Our techs build up and dry test the head assemblies like this, as you can see. It's in our dry manufacturing. We go through and we rebuild the motors. We rebuild confirm that all the amperages correctly on the LC5 amps. We go through and ohm out all the lines. We replace any heaters, any motors, any defective part. We also, in our remanufacturing process, replace all of the pneumatic tubing, all brand new. All the Teflon tubing, all that would be DI and N2 is brand new. We put in door seals, new windows, new bowl seals. We talk about the new SMC valves. Basically, when we go through our rebuild process, it's like new. So what happens is once a technician has rebuilt a tool, we have a multi-point quality control that another technician does on the head assembly. If it passes the quality control, it's then moved into wet test. It is then put on a stainless steel table, and the DI is set up for it to make sure there's no leaks and so forth. We run it multiple runs. There's a second QC that's done in final wet test. Once that's passed, the heads are put in their configuration. In this case, it's a double stack. 2 heads in a double stack configuration. We then do complete burn-in at a level at this point, so we can watch the modules running, we can watch the motors, we can look for any vibration, we make sure there's no leaks. We do 50 process runs. Once we're happy with that, the system is then signed off for sales to come and do a video. After this video, we'll put the skins on it, and you'll see that next. And it'll be we have all brand new skins on this tool. So in fact, when we put them back on there, you will think it is a brand new tool. And then we'll do a second video of it just running, showing the skins on it. So that will one of the options I didn't talk about is I do see that we have water recirculation back here too. So the customer had the light indicators, the upgraded slick device controllers, the resistivity, the anti-static, and the water recirculation. Down below, like I talked about, I do see the leak detector, and here we have our LC 5 amps. Just for reference, some customers have had some concerns over the last 6 months about parts being obsoleted. At SciTech, we have redesigned the LC amps where we can supply brand new amps for our customers, so there's no issue there. We've also sourced out and built brand new brushless motors that are direct retrofits. There's no question there. So at SciTech, we can have a brand new controller, brand new motors, brand new amps, brand new everything. So we actually, on every part of this rinser dryer, SciTech has a new replacement part for it for any customers in the world. Okay, that will end this quick video of just the quality control of the build. We're going to go ahead and put the skins on it, and then we'll do a second short video of the tool running process. Thank you. Hello, this is Jim Mullaney. We're doing part 2 of our video acceptance of this 870S fully remanufactured spin-rich dryer. One thing I didn't reference last time is our part number back here. We have our label. It is SRD-01131. That's our serial number. And we also have the CE label on the back of the tool for the certification. Okay, as I talked about before, we're strictly going to run the tool now. This customer has a 0 to 25 balance. They use the Integris A182 60MC rotor, cassette. That has the cutout in the front. That's the one they like. We've been running 0 to 25 for them. So I'll simply go ahead and run start, and the bottom one do the same thing. One wafer. We've been running 25 also through all of our testing, and we'll hit start. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll talk quickly about the traditional rinser dryer process that's used. You do a rinse, and that can be for any duration the customer likes. There's also a resistivity monitor, so if you want to set it to rinse to resistivity, you can. Then this next step is a high RPM purge. It blows the water out of the water line so it doesn't drip back during the dry cycle. Then you go into dry 1, which is a high RPM dry and short duration. And then you go into dry 2, which is a low RPM duration. The reason is that there's been lots of studies done, specifically in Montana, that showed you if you can reduce your RPMs in your dry cycles, you tend to have better particle counts across the board. So that's a typical rinser dryer process. On our controller, we're in rinse now. The green means the valve's on, the rinse valve's on, the LPP valve is on. We have 5 seconds left, and we're going to go into the purge, and you'll see. There we go. You'll notice the purge valve turned on, and now that green valve is on also for purge. As you see, we ramped up to 1600 right on the money. We have a smart controller that learns the power needed for each RPM, and then it can adjust between runs if necessary. Now we're into dry 1. What you'll see in dry 1 happens is now you have your heater blanket and your N2 heater on. You have your LPP and your N2 on. Same thing for the bottom one. And this is, again, a shorter duration. We have 90 seconds, but it can be whatever the customer likes. One thing that we do to let customers know, you see how the bowl heaters are highlighted green? The bowl heater has a process switch. When it hits process temp, it stops heating. This will turn amber or yellow. And when it cools down to the lower level of the process switch, it turns back on to green. So it cycles throughout the dry cycle so it doesn't overheat the heat blanket. You'll see that during the process a couple times. So don't be alarmed if you see that. It's standard. The one thing you don't see here is the anti-static module is not on yet, neither a controller. That's because the anti-static module only comes on in dry 2, which is a long duration dry cycle. And you'll see that in a second. You see, we're at 1600 RPM. We're totally smooth. You can't even hear the machine running. It's so quiet. It's beautiful. We have our EMO right here. I don't want to push it on accident because I'll EMO the system. Then we have our green indicator light means we're running process. When we have a few more seconds, we'll go into dry 2. Once we go into dry 2, I'll talk more about our company and the other product lines we support. Notice how it turned amber? That means the bowl heater was at temp. Okay, now we're ramping back down to 500. Beautiful. For reference, this customer testing, they had us test at 500, 800, 1200, and 1600 RPM. All of our quality control was done at those RPMs, and the machine runs great at all RPMs, both at 0 wafers and up to 25 wafers. As you can see now, notice how the bottom one turned amber too, because now that's that bottom bowl heater at temp. See, if you didn't hear the N2 blowing right now, you would not even know that the sim's running. It's so quiet and it's so balanced so well. Okay, while this is running through the process, I'll kind of talk about what our other company product lines are. First, I'll review again the semi-tool product line. We are the #1 remanufacturer of semi-tool spinner and dryers in the world, we believe, specifically in the United States for sure. We have 100% spare parts. We offer new doors, new windows, new motors, new amps, obviously a new slick device state-of-the-art controller, new valves, new heater blankets, new pressure, new everything. We also have complete repair capability of motors, amps, both brushless motors and brush motors, and we have the LC4 and LC5 amps. We also support the FSI LC4 amp, and then we also can repair any of the controllers, the old 225, 228, 328, 101s, and 102s. We have across the board, we are 100% one-stop shop for all of your semi-tool needs. Going to our website, if you go to SciTechProcess.com, on the left-hand side, you'll see a variety of buttons. The first 7 buttons are all semi-tool related. The first 3 are the spinner and dryers. Again, as I spoke about before, we can do any size, any model, any version of the rinser dryer. It doesn't matter to us with our internal remanufacturing capability. So the first button is your STs, which is your traditional older system. You have your second button, which is the F as in Frank, which is a hybrid of this system and the older system. And you have then the S model, as in Sam. The big difference of the S and the F is the S model uses a brushless motor and a servo amp and a labyrinth seal, versus the F model, which uses a ferrofluidic brush motor and a ferrofluidic seal, and it does not need an amp for that because it runs directly off the KBIC board. The second 3 buttons, or the number of buttons 4, 5, and 6, are for all the spare parts. Again, we have all the spare parts for all the versions. We have on our website, let me look at the time here, oh, plenty of time. We have a picture of the spare part, we have the SciTech part number, and then we have a cross-reference of the traditional numbers. Over the years, there's been a variety of part numbers assigned to the same part for the semi-tool or the retech parts. We try to put on our website as many of those as we can so you can do a quick cross-reference. If you go to our search module on our website, on the top left, you can put in the semi-tool or retech part number or the vertech part number, and you can go ahead and do a cross-search for a correct part. The last button, number 7, is for all the spare parts we offer on the SST, SAT, and WST product lines. Those are the solvent and acid processors for semi-tool. One thing that we are just upgrading now, we did acquire Martech. Martech was the company that was converted from Vertech. We now, SciTech is the IP owner, and we have all the spare parts, all the drawings of the Martech product line. So now we are one-stop shop for all semi-tool related spare parts and all Vertech related spare parts and service. Well, on the Vertech, we have the same capabilities, all full spare parts, full repair capability, and so forth. Okay, we got a minute and a half to go. 2 other product lines we do quite a lot on is the mask cleaners. Those are your wafer and your mask cleaners, high pressure. We do the Ultra T, KNS, Ultratech, and so forth. We do spare parts for those. We are the #1 remanufacturer of the Integris box and cassette washers. Those are those large washing machines. That's the 8000, 8010, 8020, 8030, and of course the older 4000, which is a smaller tool. We do about, this year I think we did 8 systems. We are definitely the #1 manufacturer, and because of that we have quite a lot of spare parts now. We've sub-sourced and redesigned a lot of the parts to repair and replace on those tools. Okay, we have about 40 seconds to go. We also do high and low power microscopes, Nikon, Olympus, lights, etc. We do quite a lot of pump repairs. We do the IDI, Millipore, Tritech, and we also do photoresist tracks. And we also do the traditional etch and ashers. That'd be your Branson, your matrix ashers, some of the different plasma processes. Okay, we got 15 seconds to go. At the end of the process, what happens is the rotor will spin down. Once it comes to home position, which is 12 o'clock, the rotor stop positioner will fire. That's called an RSP. That's what uprights it to home position. You'll see an acknowledgement on the screen in a second. Okay, we're braking the top rinser dryer. Braking means slowing down, not braking. Okay, now it gives you a warning, waits to stop. So you don't have to acknowledge from our controller screen. There's 3 ways you can acknowledge. You can hit acknowledge, you can hit stop on the controller, or you can just open the door. And I'll give you an example of both. So in this case, I'll acknowledge, and I open. First thing I like to do is feel for hot end 2. Kind of hot there. I'll burn my hand. All right. Sets nice and dry. Wafer looks good. I'll go ahead and do the bottom rinser dryer. What I'll do here is instead, I won't acknowledge there. I'll open the door, and you'll notice it'll do the same thing. There we go. That acknowledges it. Feel for the hot end 2. Nice and warm. And wafer looks good. Sets nice and warm. Okay, so that will conclude this second half of the video source inspection of this fully remanufactured 870S spinner and dryer, upgraded to the state-of-the-art slick device controller, manufactured by Cytec and designed by Cytec, and only sold through Cytec. Again, this model number is SRD-01131. It is going over to Europe through our distributor. And this customer, as I stated before, this is the 4th system this year we're installing at their site. They are very happy with our quality and think we are it appears the #1 manufacturer in the world of rinser dryers if they're buying from us in the United States versus somewhere else. Thank you. If you have any questions, our main number is 916-797-9000. You can ask for anyone in our sales organization. Again, my name is Jim Mullaney. Today is Thursday, November 29th, 2018. Thank you.